Okay, so this is how to stay top of mind with a 5-step lead conversion strategy. As you're probably aware, it's important to have a system in place for consistently communicating and nurturing leads, whether they come from remax.com, an open house you hosted, or a referral from a past client. This is why it's important to truly leverage the power of a CRM for keeping your contacts organized and segmenting your audiences. So, of course, when you receive a lead, and like for us, Kat, we get leads from remax.com, and we get a text, or we get a push notification on an app, or we get an email. And obviously, Haley, you accept it right away, right? So you accept it, then it's your lead to work. And at Remax, there's no fees for these leads or anything. That's one of the things I like about Remax, is that Remax just gives all of their leads directly to agents for no fee or anything like that. But then, of course, the question is, okay, you have this lead, so now what, right? Because yeah, every once in a while, you can call, text, or email them, and they want to go show a property that's available and it's easy to convert, right? But lots of times, it takes a few tries before you get a response, or maybe they're not really looking right now. You know, they say that a huge percentage of buyers that are looking online actually aren't really planning to purchase for 6 months or so out. So then it's all about staying in touch with these folks and trying to stay top of mind, so when they are ready, that you're the one they choose, right? So the first step is to respond immediately with a phone call or email. I think most of us know that. But they've got some stats here that I think are helpful, such as 5 minutes is the ideal time frame for responding to a lead. Calling within 5 minutes of receiving an online inquiry is 21 times more effective than calling after 30 minutes. So take it old school and pick up the phone to connect. After 5 minutes, the odds of qualifying a lead drop by 80%. Wow. You know, so that's huge. 50% of leads decide to work with the business that responds first. So that's another reason to respond quickly. So what can you do to ensure a timely response? Number one, you'd want to track and store all your communications with leads in one place. And one place would be within the inbox section of the contact record in Remax's Booge CRM. For quick and easy email communication, you can create saved messages within the message library found within the Booge CRM. They can be leveraged for quick follow-up, so that in just a few clicks, you can ensure a consistent experience for all contacts and leads. But now, I think, as Haley knows, you know, I've been with Remax for 5 years now, but prior to that, I was somewhere else. So I have different strategies and don't even necessarily use the Booge CRM. And so I have just saved what I kind of call my scripts for myself, either for phone calls, texts, or emails, and I have them saved. So then no matter where I'm at, and I use OneNote, my whole life is in OneNote. So I have everything organized there. So then I can be anywhere. I can be on the road, I could be in a grocery store, or I could actually be just sitting at my desk, whatever. But I've got access to my notes, and then I can copy and paste or call and sort of remind myself of what I'm going to say on the phone, right? But all that sort of stuff, so that you don't have to like recreate it every time. Mm-hmm. I've always felt like if I'm going to do something more than twice in this business, then I need to have a system to make it go faster. And I think, honestly, I think both of you have seen my posts on social media. That's how I'm able to sell so much real estate while doing so many other things, is because I've got systems in place that makes everything just shorter. It doesn't take me as long to do. I think it's much shorter than the average agent. So that's how I can be, you know, more productive. So Haley, what do you do? What are you doing to respond to leads quickly?
I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, I have the scripts that I can just copy and paste and alter based off of the situation, based off of what the lead.
Because it's not like you want to send everybody the same exact thing, but I think it's good to at least have something you can paste in and then customize a little bit. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do. I find that most of my remax.com leads have been, they've only provided their email. And so it is super easy to just, within a few minutes of receiving it, just pop on and check out what listing they were interested in, see if it's active, if it's pending, and then email them a script based off of that.
Sounds perfect. Do you have a system?
No, I don't. I don't have a system in place. And in fact, we're doing, we have 2 lead gens at our office. So we're having to, grab these leads really fast and talk to the people immediately. So I kind of just take it person by person. But I think a system in place to respond to via email, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm
Because
just,
what are the majority? I guess it sounds like the majority of your leads are maybe phone calls.
they are. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with phone calls, yeah, there's definitely like less of a script. Definitely, I think even since we're experienced, yeah, you can just, what you need to cover in the conversation. So it's a little bit different.
Yep.
Yeah, you can customize it more. Okay, moving along. So then the second step is to organize their contact record, either within the Booz CRM or wherever you're going to store it, right? Because I guess, Haley, are you using the Booz CRM to kind of organize your contacts and track things?
I am. Honestly, I'm not as efficient at organizing my contacts as I would like to be, because I find that I do store my contacts in Booz and I do try to keep notes, but I end up doing those later. So I will first put their contact, whether it's the email or the phone, either in my phone or my email system.
Mhm.
And then I go back and I add it to Booz, which remax.com leads, it's easy to automatically import them, but then taking notes on the conversations I've had with them and stuff is another step that I don't always get to right after it happens. So
Yeah, and I think that's natural too, because I take notes, but there's definitely, depending on how busy I am, sometimes I make more notes than other times,
yeah.
I think that's pretty natural.
Yeah.
What about you, Kat? How
Yeah.
are you keeping notes?
Actually, I'm one of those type of people that has about 10 pieces of paper on my desk, and I write down, sadly, I write down people's information on these pieces of paper. And then after, I've had time to think about them and put them in my brain, then I take them off the piece of paper and I put them in a little black book. And then I enter that into my CRM.
Yeah, so that works. Right?
It could be I need to keep better track of my contacts. Maybe I need just a big book to just write them all in as I'm doing it. I don't really know.
Yeah, maybe, because I guess that would be my thought, is because it sounds like you have a system, but just that it may not be the shortest
Right.
or least time consuming one. And I guess that's what I'm always aiming for, is to save time. So yeah, maybe, and this is where maybe this class could just help give you some ideas of different things you could do to shorten that up for yourself.
Yeah.
So you can keep them better organized, and maybe not happen to lose any, but not also have to be copying information twice or whatever. Because I understand writing, works for some people. So if you're really into writing in paper, then yeah, probably having some sort of book would work. Whereas I know for myself, all of my contacts are just in OneNote too. Like if I'm on the phone or whatever with them, I'm taking notes, as I'm talking to them. It's when I'm talking to them in a car or somewhere else that then my notes, then I've got to go back and type them, and then that's a little bit different, But I think that's where our our business is so mobile now, it's kind of one of the challenges. So sometimes we do have to duplicate things.
Yeah.
But the idea with organizing their contact information and keeping notes and stuff is that obviously that's going to help you know when to follow up, right? And I think the other big thing is within the Boost CRM, you can set up action plans and things for follow up. But like, I know Haley's heard me say, you know, for me, I just put it on my calendar. So I'm always at the end of every communication, almost, you know, obviously it's different when you have a developed relationship with them. But when there's some sort of a prospect, I'm always asking about whatever it is they're doing next, when they think they're going to be ready or when they're going to be done or whatever, so that in my mind, I know when to follow up. And then I always put it on my calendar a few days or a week or a couple weeks, depending on what it is, early, because I just want to make sure that I'm in front of them or I'm reaching out before they're done to make sure I'm the one in place at the right time, right? And I'm not saying I'm perfect and that happens all the time, because sometimes I get busy and maybe they're on my list. I'm like, oh crap, I know I need to follow up with them, but I'm just too busy today, right? So sometimes I delay, but the plan is that it's on my calendar and I'm trying to get in front of them before they're done. And I think that helps really when I look back at things, because I'm the one that's calling them, you know. There's nothing like calling someone a little bit too late and they've already met with another agent and gotten that CMA or whatever. So that's why I do that. So just coming up with a system for yourself, whatever it is, because I guess that's what's hard, right? Is we have to have notes, but then you've also got to have a plan, something on your calendar. And the Boost CRM is going to start syncing with our calendar programs here soon. So that'll be nice, because then we won't have duplicate input that way. You guys have anything else to talk about that?
So do you back up all your, where do you back up all your contacts? Do you back them up to OneNote?
Oh, so OneNote is my note-taking system.
Okay.
And then I have all my contacts just in my live account. And then I just use that live calendar too. So I'm a Microsoft person, I think, just because I grew up, my dad was into computers. So I started as a kid using computers. And so I'm just totally into using all the Microsoft stuff. And obviously it works well for personal stuff. And people would probably say, oh, you could use other systems for business, but I just make it work for my business too. You know, it doesn't cost me hardly anything to do. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
So then, and then a big thing is over time, you know, as you're building your relationship with the contact, taking note of important dates, names of children, pets, etc. Sorry, I think that was QuickBooks calling back, but I told him he would get voicemail. But taking note of important things, what they like, restaurants they like, all that sort of stuff too, right? So then, because especially as your database grows, it's going to be harder to remember more and more details like that. But then when you're seeing them in a few years, you'll know what to get them as a gift, all that sort of stuff, you know?
Yep.
And so for me, those are all just notes within the contact, you know, because I think all the systems have places for notes and contacts. So I just add to those so then I can pull it up at any time. And then, you know, I've got everything syncing with my phone and all my devices too, so I can be anywhere and pull up all this information. Okay, so then the third step is to find and send similar listings. Now, we probably already know this, right? Obviously, if they're inquiring about a listing or a few, then the first step is to get on the MLS and hope that they're available, right? Because for sure, if they're active and available, then it's easier to get an appointment. If it's pending, or if all the ones they're inquiring about is pending, then it's a little more challenging. So then you want to, at least within Booge, we can take a look at what they were looking at. Maybe they saved a search or something. So then we can pull up similar listings email them those and ask if they would like to see those. So it's all about trying to provide properties that they might be interested in so you can get the appointment. Oh, here's a stat. They say that 80% of homeowners are using the internet to search for homes. With so many people searching online, you have a lot of opportunities to help and convert leads. Oh, and then the next step, I guess I kind of skipped ahead. Step 4 is to, within the Booz CRM, you can apply tasks and automate task plans. So that might help you out, Haley. But I guess we kind of already talked about how you can use the Booz CRM for that. Or for me, I'm just taking notes and putting things in my calendar. And then obviously, after I talk to them, I update that and I'm maybe moving it forward to whenever I need to follow up again if I'm not getting a meeting or something right away. Because, you know, it does happen frequently with online leads where they're just not quite ready at that time. You know, maybe they think they're 3 months out and then you check in 3 and oh, no, now it's going to be another 3 or 4 months or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the final step is to stay in flow with them. And so that's basically staying in touch with them. It's recommended that we be mailing everyone at least once a month and be emailing them at least once a month. So within Booz, in Remax, we have monthly newsletters, or there's also drip campaigns that are available. So we can create tags if we want to, and then using those tags, assign automatic campaigns. So say they're a first-time home buyer or a first-time seller, or maybe they're an experienced one of those or whatever. We could have different campaigns set up, and there's some templates and samples already set up for us, or we can customize them or create our own. And then we can assign them to those campaigns. So, you know, that isn't going to replace the fact that you should still be trying to call them before they're planning to be quite ready, right? But at least you'll be automatically staying in touch with them with some emails and not having to do that part of it. Unfortunately, a big part of lead conversion these days is just staying in touch with people. And so that's why those automated emails can really help. I guess, Haley, what are you using to stay in touch with everyone?
I'm doing monthly newsletters on Booz. And then I just have my farm on the monthly mailers that I've been doing. I can't think of any leads that I actually have their address to do mailing at this point. And so, yeah, so just with leads, I put in my calendar when to follow up with them, whether it's via email or phone. And then even the remax.com leads that I don't hear anything back after emailing them a few times, I just put them onto my monthly mailer or email list, so that they're at least still hearing from me, still have my contact in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. What are you doing, Kat?
I need to get better at contacting these leads that I get. I usually try to call more so than text or email. I think calling at least once a week and touching base with them, telling them I'm here if you need anything. I think that's been really effective for me. It's just reaching out via phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is better than texting and emailing or mailing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I need to do better at my once a month mailings to my farm. That's for sure. But
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's another one that I have on my calendar. It has to be on my calendar, and it might move around to get delayed a few days or a week, but it's the only way it's going to get done, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I just had to remember to do it off the top of my head, oh gosh, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, and then I guess what postcard programs are good? What are you guys using or interested in? Which one are you using, Haley?
Well, I had been using Magnet Street, but I actually had some issues with them. And so for my last one, I switched. It's one of Remax's approved suppliers. I'm blanking on the name of it. But it was way better, way smoother. It might have been the personal marketing company, which I think is what you use, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I've been using a personal marketing company for a very long time.
Yeah, the whole process was a lot smoother than it's been with Magnet Street. And I think it cost me significantly less too, which I had priced it out at the beginning and I didn't think it was going to be, I thought it was really comparable, but I'll have to look at my numbers again, but I think it was significantly less. So I'll be using them from now on.
Okay, yeah. So is it the personal marketing company? Have you confirmed that?
I think so. I could find.
Yeah, because that would be interesting to know, because then maybe Kat would like to know that too, because especially if both of us are using that. Because which company have you been using or used in the past, Kat?
So I've looked into Prospect Plus, also, there's a couple of them that I've really looked into. They're pretty expensive. I've created my own postcards. I think the best luck I've had with getting responses through the mail is every day I get on HomeSnap and look at people likely to list, and then I just have cards and cards and stamps, and I just write out a card, handwrite a card, put my business card in it, and then just send 5 of them in the mail every day. I think
That's great, Kat. Yeah.
I've had more luck with that, getting responses with those, than I have just my monthly postcard.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because that's more targeted and more personal if you're writing a card too.
Yeah, I think when they get a card in the mail, they're more tempted to open it up and look at the card because they don't really know who it's from, right? It's just in a normal envelope. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and I know you've been, I mean, I don't know, I haven't checked your numbers or anything on the MLS, Kat, but it seems like on social media, you're pretty busy. Like your sales have really picked up this year.
Yeah, well, whenever I had a listing in SeaTac, and I always make sure that if somebody drives by my listing and calls my sign, that I just get up and I go meet them there immediately to show. And I got 2 cash deals out of just getting up and going and meeting these people as fast as I could.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Well, and then from your HomeSnap cards, how many listings have you gotten?
None.
Oh,
None.
yet? But, like, do you
Responses though.
have
Yeah.
some coming or?
Yeah, I haven't gotten any, I haven't gotten any business from my postcards or my mailers yet.
Mm.
But I've had people call me though from my cards, not my mailer. So yeah.
Okay. So at least you're getting leads from it.
Yeah.
So that's working rather than not working at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe you need to try to analyze like what's happening, right? Like if they're calling you, like, why haven't you been able to get an appointment or get the listing, and obviously there could be a whole wide variety of things going on that maybe trying to figure out what that is, or if there's a common theme or something, and then trying to work on that to improve it or figure out if you can, right? Because like, if it's all just out of your control, then you would need to decide, okay, well, is it worth continuing or not? Like,
yeah, I think it's my follow-up. Like if they're 6 months out, and I keep contacting them, and then after about 4 months or 3 months, I sometimes just fall off and just let them go. So it's me.
Okay, so then maybe you need to figure out how or what can be done so that you don't let them fall off, right?
Yeah, I think putting it on the calendar was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that at least helps. Because like I said, if it weren't for my calendar, I know I wouldn't have as much business as I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's priceless, putting it on the calendar.
So yeah, try that out and see if that works.
I
And I
will.
mean, if for some reason it doesn't, which I think it will, but let's say it doesn't, then you just got to figure out something else that will work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Core Fact has some good postcards out there.
Yeah, I've heard of those too.
Mhm.
I just looked and it was the personal marketing company that I used this last time. And I've used Magnet Street before, and I think it's like a 15% difference, which is, it adds up for sure.
Okay.
Spending a lot. So, and it was smoother and they sent them out more timely. So,
Okay, well, yeah, that's always good for me to know, you
Yeah.
know, that you've had better luck with them too.
yeah, the
And
reason
now-
I was going with Magnet Street at first is because I liked some of their designs a little better, but I've ended up designing my own for all of them that I've sent out. So it's not even worth it. So yeah.
But at the same time, Kat, in case you want to check out the personal marketing camp, they have all these templates too. Like I don't. Haley is great. She's creative. I'm not. Like, so I just use the templates, but there's plenty of different templates to choose from.
Yep.
Now, that's interesting because I was just going to ask you that, Jen. So I designed my own postcards too, and then I've also used templates. And I had a coworker of mine say, Kat, do you have a marketing degree? And I'm like, no. He said, well, then why are you designing your own postcards? I said, yeah, probably a good point, maybe.
I actually do have a marketing degree, so that's why
Okay.
Good answer.
So that's the only reason.
Nice.
And I guess
I
what
don't.
yeah, I guess what I would say is, you know, for Haley, who has a marketing degree, or even for those agents that just absolutely love marketing,
Yeah.
fine, you know, you've got those options. But the reality is most of us realtors don't want to do that or just don't have time. It's not the best use of our time, right? Like really the best use of our time is just trying to follow these 5 steps and try to get it done as quickly as possible so that we can get in front of prospects and clients, right? And be closing business. That's really how we can be more productive and sell more.
Yep.
But if you really like to create postcards, then yeah, I could see how if I really was into that, maybe it would be worth the time to me, you know, it just depends. And that's the beauty of real estate, right? Is that we can set our own priorities and choose how to spend our time.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's 3:03. I know you need to go, Kat.
My puppy has an ear infection. I gotta go.
Oh, I hope he gets better soon.
Well,
But it was good seeing you. Thanks for calling this morning.
Yeah. So this is every Thursday, Jen?
Every 4th Thursday at 2 o'clock. And the
Nice.
link will work until I change it, but we could get in touch again.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies. This was fabulous.
Yeah,
Thank
feel
you.
free to call me or text if you have any questions, because I know we're ending kind of quick.
Thank
We
you.
can chat again. Okay,
Thanks.
bye, Kat.
Have a good day, you guys. Bye-bye.
Okay. Haley, anything you want to chat about before you leave?
I would love to just run over some of this. Do you have a few minutes? It shouldn't take
Yes.
too long. I just wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing or forgetting for Sylvia's condo.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, let me quit the recording. I just realized that.